In a small village, surrounded by green fields, there lived a poor farmer named Rahim. His house was made of mud, with a weak tin roof that made noise whenever the wind blew. Rahim lived with his wife, Amina, and their 2 children, Karim and Noor. They were poor, but they loved each other deeply. Every morning before sunrise, Rahim went to his small piece of land. Farming was his only source of income. Some seasons were good, but many were not. Still, Rahim never complained. He believed that hard work and faith would one day change his life. Whenever the wind blew, one evening, as Amina was cooking a simple meal of rice and lentils, she spoke softly. "Rahim, our rice is almost finished, and we still have debt to repay." Rahim stayed quiet. He had borrowed money from a landlord to buy seeds for his crops. If the harvest failed, he would lose his land, the only thing he owned. "I will find a way," Rahim said calmly. "We must not lose hope." Rahim worked harder than ever. His son Karim sometimes followed him to the fields. "Abba, why do you work so much?" Karim asked one day. Whenever the wind blew, Rahim smiled and said, "So that you and your sister can have a better life. I want you to study and become educated." Whenever the wind blew, Karim promised himself that he would not, but life tested them once again. A heavy storm hit the village one night. Strong winds and rain destroyed Rahim's crops completely. In just a few hours, months of hard work were gone. Rahim stood in his flooded field, feeling helpless. When he returned home, Amina understood everything by looking at his face. The next few months were the hardest of their lives. Rahim searched for work in nearby towns. Finally, he found a job at a construction site. The work was difficult and tiring. He carried bricks all day, under the hot sun. He ate very little and sent most of his earnings back home. Meanwhile, Amina began sewing clothes for neighbors to earn some money. Karim studied at night under a small oil lamp. Noor helped her mother with small tasks. One day, Karim came home with exciting news. "Amma, I stood first in my class." Amina hugged him with tears of joy. When Rahim returned home, after months of hard work, Rahim felt proud. For the first time in many days, he smiled with hope. After nearly a year of working in the town, Rahim finally repaid his debt. He returned to his village and decided to try something different. Instead of planting only rice, he planted vegetables as well. He learned new farming methods from others. This time, the harvest was better. The vegetables sold well in the market. Slowly, Rahim's family began to recover. He repaired his house and bought new books for Karim. Years passed. Karim continued his studies with determination. With the help of a scholarship, he went to college in the city. Before leaving, he said to his father, "Abba, one day I will make you proud." Rahim replied gently, "Just be an honest and good human being. That is enough for me." After finishing his education, Karim returned to the village as an agricultural officer. His job was to help farmers improve their farming methods. When Rahim saw his son step out of a car in front of their small house, his eyes filled with tears. In front of their small house, the poor farmer who once struggled to buy rice now saw his son bringing knowledge and change to the village. Karim introduced new techniques and helped farmers grow better crops. Slowly, the entire village began to prosper. One evening, Rahim sat in his field during sunset. The sky was glowing with orange light. The crops moved gently with the wind. Amina sat beside him and said, "Do you remember those difficult days?" Rahim nodded and smiled. Yes, but we never gave up. He realized that poverty had tested them, but it had not defeated them. Hard work, patience, and hope had changed their lives. He was not rich in money, but he was rich in something greater: a strong family, respect from others, and the success of his son. As the sun slowly disappeared behind the fields, Rahim whispered a prayer of gratitude, because he knew one truth: even the poorest farmer can grow a beautiful future if he never loses hope. END.